Top 5 Best Biometric Gun Safes. Number 5. BARSKA Biometric Rifle Cabinet. When most of us think of biometric gun safes, the first thing that often comes to mind is a quick open for our handguns. But what about our long guns? With the BARSKA Biometric Rifle Cabinet, your rifles and shotguns can be safely stored and abruptly accessed as well. This is an awesome gun cabinet in general. It's relatively lightweight for a steel rifle box, and is easily bolted into wall studs or home foundations through its pre-drilled mounting holes. I have mine sitting next to my desk as I write this. The BARSKA ideally holds 2 long guns with accessories. It also has a shelf at the top which is great for storing those accessories, as well as magazines and couple of boxes of ammo. But what really makes this one of the best biometric gun safes is its ability to store and register 120 different fingerprint scans. Now, you may be wondering, where the heck am I going to get 120 fingers? All jokes aside, this is more important than you think. Ever come across one of those biometric fingerprint sensors that didn't read your finger because you didn't put it on the sensor just right? That could really be a liability if you needed to access your guns fast. But by storing your fingerprints at many different angles and positions, you can ensure your cabinet opens every time. Furthermore, when it comes to lockers or cabinets, I think that this is the best priced for what you get. Coming in number 4. SENTRYSAFE Biometric Gun Safe. The SENTRYSAFE Biometric is a generic as they come. It has solid steel construction with backup buttons and biometric capability. But that's where the description sort of ends. It's as large as the PINEWORLD, where you can fit 2 guns inside of it, with ammo and more. However, I don't think the biometric on this one works as well, failing a couple more times in my 50-round test, thus making it not as useful. I will say that I do prefer the buttons on this one better than the PINEWORLD and the GunVault, but not as good as the VaultTec. If you love the SENTRYSAFE brand, this biometric safe may be for you. However, for us, it is a bit of a big box store option as a gun safe versus a biometric safe from companies dedicated to making firearm safes. If it were cheaper than the PINEWORLD, I would consider more, but it would need to be much cheaper than something just sort of close. Coming in number 3. GunVault MicroVault XL MVB 1000. The GunVault MicroVault XL is a decent biometric safe. It's got a lot of the right features and capabilities that would make it a legit prospect. Furthermore, it comes from a solid and trusted company. So, why is it number 3? First off, the MVB 1000 doesn't offer all the bells and whistles as our number 1 biometric gun safe above. It's missing out on things like an app, and is not as compact as the VaultTec. It does provide reliable housing for a single handgun of your choosing, and it's made out of a high-quality, heavy-gauge steel that'll keep your gun safe from prying hands. Also, like our other 2 recommendations, it has combination buttons as a backup method of entry. But again, not as good of a button system as the VaultTec, and thus falls short in comparison. This gun safe gets the number 3 spot because, as you can see, it isn't as good as the VaultTec, and yet is priced closer to that safe. I also don't think it is as nice as the PINEWORLD, and yet it's much more expensive. If the GunVault were much cheaper than the previous one, then it probably would be bumped up maybe to the number 2 spot. But all that being said, it is a viable option and a very popular one on the market. Coming in number 2. PINEWORLD Biometric K5 Gun Safe. While I love the VaultTec safe reviewed above, it is a bit pricey compared to the PINEWORLD K5. It's got comparable features to the VaultTec, including an app, biometrics, lockpicking resistance, but at a much more affordable price. After all, genuine gun safes have become rather pricey over the years, and if there is a much more cost-effective biometric available, it would be worth investigating. Something that I see as a pro and a con is its size. It's bigger than the VaultTec, and can actually hold 2 weapons. On the plus side, this means that I can put more in it. On the downside, that means it takes up more space on my dresser or desk or wherever it is. I do think it reads the biometrics a bit better than the VaultTec. However, one thing I don't like about the PINEWORLD is that you can't feel when the buttons are clicked and thus register. So, sometimes I'll think I tapped in the right combination, and it will fail because one of the buttons I pressed didn't register. So, it's a better biometric, but not a better key system. I have since bought this one for family members and as a gift for friends because it does everything and is much cheaper than the VaultTec. But I do still use the VaultTec for my CCW pistol by the door going to my car. Coming in number 1. VaultTec VS20i. The VaultTec gets my number 1 pick because of all the features and its quality. In addition to great build quality, design, and features, it also has a backup to the biometric fingerprint reader. Unfortunately, they can sometimes be finicky and therefore we strongly recommend a backup method of getting into the biometric safe if you're relying on this firearm for your defense. As the name implies, this is a smart device. It comes fully equipped with Wi-Fi and its very own app. The app allows you to monitor critical safe parameters and receive alerts in real time such as temperature, humidity, keypad and fingerprint pad tampering, and even bumps and jostles. Another thing that I like about this safe is the button operation. I know that sounds weird, but it has buttons that you can feel the click. This helps me to know that I typed in the right number combination, and I actually tend to use this over the fingerprint just because of how easy and quick I can be. I'll talk about this more in other reviews as we get to them, because the feel of the buttons is something many other gun safes do not do well. But aside from all the high-tech monitoring, the biometric fingerprint reader on this bad boy can store 20 unique fingerprints. That's all fingers and toes for most folks or trusted family members.